I've met anti-Semitic people in my life, people who hate the Jewish people, who hate Israel, and I've never met any of them who was blessed and who wasn't cursed. Never. Whether they were well off in the world or not, they were cursed. There was a darkness over their life, over their heart, over everything. I have to show you this. Could God have given signs in real time, in front of the world, showing his hand and his will and his judgment? This is Jonathan Cahn, and what I'm going to show you is first for you who know God, but it's also for you who don't. And if you're a subscriber who has any doubt about the reality of God or his hand in current events, it's for you. And if you know anybody who has any doubt, send this to them. And for this, you'll see a video. It just happened recently, but it goes back almost 4,000 years. God told Abraham in Genesis 12, I will bless those who bless you, and those who curse you, I will curse. This has been called the Abrahamic covenant. It's real simple. If you bless Abraham, as in his children, if you bless the Jewish people, you'll be blessed. If you curse them, you'll be cursed. Now, it can be taken in a larger sense. Whatever you do to the Jewish people or to Israel, it's going to be done to you. Now, this biblical law has held true from the days of the pharaohs of Egypt to the days of the Assyrian Empire, to Babylon, to Persia, to Greece, to Rome, to the kingdoms of Europe, the Spanish Empire, the British Empire, the Nazis, the Soviet Union, and America. Quick check. First question. Which nation has been the greatest ally of Israel in the modern world? America. Second question. Which nation has been the most blessed nation in the modern world? America. It's not a coincidence. It's the Abrahamic covenant. That's the law. It's held true from ancient times to this very moment. Now, before we go further, for your own sake, this law doesn't just apply to nations. It applies to people. I've met anti-Semitic people in my life, people who hate the Jewish people, who hate Israel, and I've never met any of them who was blessed and who wasn't cursed. Never. Whether they were well off in the world or not, they were cursed. There was a darkness over their life, over their heart, over everything. On the other hand, I've never met a person, particularly a believer, who loved the Jewish people, who loved Israel, and wasn't blessed. Regardless of circumstances, it didn't matter. There was a blessing on their life, on their heart, on their spirit, on everything. So for your own sake, for the sake of your life and blessing, do not curse the Jewish people or Israel. Bless them. How? Pray for them. Get the gospel to them. Support ministries that are doing that. Stand with them. As Ruth was to Naomi, you be the Ruth to the Naomi of Israel. Now, you're about to see the Abrahamic covenant activate in real time. For that, we have to go to Turkey. Interesting. Turkey is prominently mentioned in Ezekiel 38 and 39 among the peoples or nations that are going to come against Israel in the end times. That's another message, but take note. You may have caught a glimpse of this on the internet, but we're going to open it wide open. This was filmed in the Turkish parliament. Turkey is, for all intents and purposes, a Muslim nation, and it tends to be very negative against Israel. A member of the Turkish parliament gets up to give a speech. The speech condemns Israel, of course, and for Israel's actions in defending itself against the terror of Hamas. He goes on and on and on condemning Israel. But at the end of his speech, he does something not usually seen in a speech in a parliament. He calls down a curse upon Israel from heaven. He actually calls down a curse. Now watch, I want you to see it for yourself. The translation is going to be at the bottom.
Halbuki bizden kurtulsanız vicdan azabından kurtulamayacaksınız. Vicdan azabından kurtulsanız tarihin azabından kurtulamayacaksınız. Tarihin azabından kurtulsanız Allah'ın gazabından kurtulamayacaksınız. Hepinizi saygıyla selamlıyorum.
Okay, he just cursed Israel. And not only cursed Israel, but actually called down a curse from heaven upon Israel. Now, Genesis 12 warns, don't do that. Because if you do that, what you call down on Israel or the Jewish people, it's going to come back down on you. Now watch what happens.
Allah'ın gazabından kurtulamayacaksınız. Hepinizi saygıyla selamlıyorum.
The man was struck down dead. He called down a curse from heaven on Israel, and he was struck dead. The Abrahamic covenant before your eyes in real time. Is God real or what? Genesis 12 recorded on videotape at the Turkish parliament. Do you think the Turkish government might have second thoughts about cursing Israel in the future? Well, they're going to be part of Ezekiel 38 and 39, but maybe some will take note. But here's the thing. America has been Israel's strongest ally in the modern world and the most blessed nation. But there's a very present danger. The polls are showing that the younger generation of Americans is not only the generation that's least connected to God and biblical values, but it's the least pro-Israel generation in American history, the most anti-Israel generation, heavily influenced by TikTok, and the most pro-Hamas. And stunningly, one poll showed that virtually the majority of young Americans were pro-Hamas. They believe that what Hamas did on October 7th, the murders, the tortures, the rapes, the mutilations of Israeli civilians, was justified. This is the future of America. If America turns away from Israel, guess what will happen? God's blessings will turn away from America. That includes the blessings of prosperity, power, safety, protection. Pray for America and pray for the peace of Jerusalem. They will prosper, as it is written, who love thee. Now, if you have anybody in your life who's anti-Semitic, get this to them for their own sake. And if you are in any association or denomination or church or group that's anti-Israel or anti-Jewish, either get them to get out of it or get yourself out of it. It's cursed. You don't need a curse on your life.